Welcome back to the One Predator podcast.
All right, guys. Another episode of One Predator podcast. It's a special night for us.
Super special.
We have our first out-of-state call-in listener.
Yeah, poor Mike.
So if you'd like to introduce yourself quick, we'll get this thing started.
Yep, my name is Mike Loveland. I'm from Michigan. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah.
And I love to coyote hunt and do everything you guys like to do, farm and everything else.
Yeah. I grew up farming. I don't do it anymore, but
Yeah, he got smart. He got out of it.
Exactly. When everything got really expensive.
Yeah. The rest of us are just dumb. Anyway, this is not about farming. This is how it goes. So, Mike, how long have you been hunting coyotes?
About 12 years.
Oh wow, just long.
We did about
you are
about 12 years. We got into it with lights, and then I got asked to go to Tennessee to help out a friend with some hogs. And then when I got back home, that's when I got into night vision and thermal.
Nice.
What are you running for? You
Thermal.
run thermal or night vision now?
Thermal.
Okay.
I run an iRay.
Okay.
I've got an iRay as a micro 25 for a helmet. Because I get lazy and don't want to hold on to a scanner.
I'm with you. We're almost there.
I did it one time, and it was a mistake. And a friend of mine, he wasn't going to be using his for a while, so I got a bridge to run two. I realistically only like to run one, because then I can use the other eye to walk with or look at my e-collar remote.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you can even drive the truck and all that good stuff if you want to. Leave it down and look out the window if you need to pull into a place or something. So,
Right.
but
Scanning from the road, we do it too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep. Some of our area around here is big, wide open fields, and my buddy that I hunt with a lot, Taylor, he's got about 19,000 acres up where he lives at, and I've got about 6,500 down here where I live at.
Oh,
Holy
jeez.
shit!
That's some land to cover.
I'm coming over.
You guys are more than welcome to anytime.
So
Only one thing though, and I got to pick on you about it.
Okay.
You got to run suppressed.
We don't. Well, you'll have to teach us how, because we're not allowed to have those.
That's easy.
I don't have a threaded barrel.
Yeah.
We can thread it quick. Don't worry.
Yeah, no big deal.
We can do that.
We got
we
a
got a
tap and
pipe vice and some dyes. Fucking send it. We're gonna
Yep.
shit in a horse barn. This is how you do shit, kid.
Oh, man.
So
Make sure you got the lubricant.
Now, oh yeah, that's right. You are, because you sent me some pictures, and you have. See, he's already ahead of me. He has a 2506.
Oh.
And it's beautiful. I think I showed you the pictures. I don't know. Maybe I didn't.
I don't recall.
It's absolutely beautiful, and I totally want one.
Yeah.
I've always wanted it. It's a great caliber.
Yeah.
What kind of range? Do you get
There's
good range out of it and everything?
The longest shot's 565 yards at nighttime.
Oh my
That was
God.
with an 85 grain bullet.
I am not worthy.
That is.
He beat me.
That's out there.
I got lucky. I'll get it.
I say the same thing at 452.
Yeah, that was definitely. That was luck.
Pierre was standing there. You've heard the story, and he was like, "That thing's
Oh,
down,"
yeah.
and I'm like, "No, no, it's not."
That's what happened to me. A guy was standing beside me and using one of my wife's scanner, because she goes out sometimes hunting with me. And I started barking and it wouldn't stop. And finally I just hollered and it stopped and turned broadside. And I'm like, I think this is the dope. And I pulled the trigger and it went down. He goes, either it just laid down or you nailed it.
Yeah,
and when we got up to check on it, hit her right in the neck.
Wow. I think that's where I hit mine. It was quartered away, and it was like it trotted for like a second. Pierre's like, "You're gonna do it. Now's the time." And I was like, "Hail Mary for early grace. Here we go." And I just pulled it, and it just bloop, and it disappeared. And he was laughing. I was like, "That's a poke." So you got me beat.
I mean, my furthest is
I got lucky.
What's your furthest, John?
300. I shot it in the neck.
Oh yeah, that's right. We always, you know why? Because you put the
It's a theme.
crosshair up over their head.
Yeah.
and you're like drop it in there. Like,
It just a lot
it's like
better
playing
than-
beer pong. You know, just,
I've got a range right out behind the house. You just walk out the garage door, and there's a shooting bench right there on the porch, and it's 400 yards to the steel plates.
ditto.
And so we practice, like, come home from work, throw 5 rounds in,
Yeah.
go 100, 200, 300, 400, and
Yeah, as we do the same thing. After we get the field cut.
Yes.
I've got them up just high enough that you can see it above the grass.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Yeah, we did. That's where I started this year because everybody always complains that we can't have church because the hay's on the field. So I started on this side this year, so it's all open now. But same thing. You got, and I'm glad that you said that because we always preach about how important it is to practice, and it is, because you see all these posts on these predator pages about these guys like, what do you think of this shot? Or what do you think of this? Or where should I hold here? I'm like, you guys need go to a range and try it.
Yeah.
You know, like 100 yards to me is easy at this point. But I can remember when we were like a kid, you know, younger deer hunting, and you're like, man, that thing's like 100 yards away, you know. And like now, you know, if they're you know under 3, I'm very comfortable. You know, 300 I'll do. I mean, 425, that was like, I didn't range it until after we fired, you know, until after it was over. I just kind of guessed, you know. But you from doing it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. That's the repetition and shooting off of a tripod. If you're a night hunter and you're shooting tripod, practice on a tripod. Only time I use a bench is when we're working up a load or something. Otherwise, everything is off tripod. I feel way more comfortable. I went hunting out west with some guys, and one of the guys said, "Oh, nighttime thermal's easy," and it didn't turn out that well because I let him use my stuff, and so it's different. For everybody thinks it's easy, but it's not.
No, your depth perception at night is like totally different.
It's terrible.
Totally.
Different. And you think, and it's not like deer hunting during the day because I shoot with both eyes open.
Yep, same here.
Even at night.
I don't.
Yep.
If I close one eye, it's going to be a miss every friggin' time. It doesn't matter. So, but during the day when you're whitetail hunting, you shoot. Dad taught us to shoot with both eyes open so you can follow your target. And at night, that don't mean shit, you know. So, unless you're using, there's guys that use white lights on coyotes, which they are super.
Oh yeah.
Lucky. And
that just boggles me. It's awesome. I love watching Chris and them down there in Texas on their shows and stuff. And it's like around here, you flip a light on, they are gone.
Gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Right. They hear truck doors shut, they're gone. Mm-hmm. Ours are very, very smart. Well, they deal with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why,
No.
We don't get to shoot 90 a night. That shit don't happen.
Yeah. That'd be something to see.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to do.
Yeah. I mean,
you looked like you had something you wanted to say.
Well, what's the most we got in one night? This last season was what, 3?
3.
First day.
We were like, we felt like fucking Olympians too.
Yeah. I mean,
that was first day, first night out, cloud 9. We should have had 4. I missed one. He loves telling the story. Fucking well. All right. But the funny thing about the miss was that the one that I missed walked right up to his dead one and smelled it and looked up and was like, shit.
Yeah.
You could see the look on that dog's face. He knew he was, but he made it. So
yeah.
Nice.
So you use what else do you use? 2506. You got a couple of guns. You're like me. You got a bunch of them.
I used to have a ton of guns, and I realized that the quality is a little better than having a really good scope. So I got rid of a bunch of them and just kind of consolidated.
Okay.
I guess beware of the man with one gun. So I got the 6 that I ran for about the first 5 years or so, and then I had a 2250 before that, and I just built a 22 Creedmoor last year.
Oh yeah.
And that I really love that gun. It's nice, lightweight, short, compact, and accurate.
Now, is that an AR platform or is that bolt?
No, it's a bolt. It's
okay.
There's a company up here in Lansing, Michigan. It's called Pierce Engineering. They build custom like F-class rifles and all sorts of just really nice stuff.
Interesting.
So I decided to go all out, and I got a skeletonized titanium receiver with a proof barrel, and then a JTAC. I think they call it a Screech Owl chassis.
Fancy.
So
I gotta look those up. That sounds cool.
It's under 6 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Wow.
My rifle. I have
The
it.
Tika is like carrying the fucking Titanic.
Well, I have the MDT Oryx chassis, the Tika action and barrel, the scope, my AGM scope, and the 50 mil Hyperion. I think is right around 12 and a half pounds.
Well, you said yours, Mike, it's all thermal, right? So have you ever used night vision?
Yeah, I used to have what got me into it at nighttime, I was going down to Tennessee and helping out a friend get rid of some hogs on a farm. And I was using green light. And the first night when I flipped it on, they were gone. So it put me into the scramble mode of planning for a 6-month trip to go down there to go hunt for like 2 nights. And we found some X-Sights 2s at a backyard gun shop that the guy had. Know nothing about them. Go back to the farm, 18 miles. Go to sight the gun, and every time you shoot, it turns off.
Oh.
Didn't know nothing about it. Called the guy. He goes, "Yep, I got one more. Bring it back." Took it back. Ran back to the farm to dial it in just before it was getting dark. And of course, it was the original. I didn't know anything about the IR lights or anything like that. Every time he shot, turned off. So the farm manager took us and says, "Well, if we get into a group, you better be quick to reset that thing." And sure enough, we got into a group of about 30 hogs. We put a stalk on them to about 80 yards. And he says, "Be ready to reset." Yeah. And yeah, we had 2 of them that went right between the 2 of us. About knocked my tripod over while I'm trying to reset the scope by taking the battery cap off and put it back on.
Oh.
But after I got home and did some studying, and I found out that the battery chambers were too big for a standard AA battery in the U.S. So every time you shot, the batteries jiggled.
Oh no.
Can you run a power pack on that?
If you put a power pack on it, you never have a problem. Because like I said, I didn't know nothing about that stuff. And more I learned about it. And I never had a problem with that scope. I had good luck with it. And then I went to an ATN thermal, and I saw blimps. Like literally, if you thought it was a coyote, you swore it was a cow.
Yeah, I've heard lots.
And then
I've never had one, but Rusty did, and we heard a lot of horror stories about it. So
yeah.
A lot of guys like them, though. I don't know. Maybe their eyes are fucked up. I don't.
Yeah. After having my eye race, I've got an RH50R right now, and absolutely love it. It's like if you handed me $10,000, $15,000 to go pick a scope, that would be the one. Me personally, because I love the rangefinder in it. And my wife's gun, she's got the RH42. So it's the 42 millimeter, but it's a 384 processor with the rangefinder built into it. And those are really nice if you want to do longer pokes.
Right.
Because it's a 4 power.
Knowing your range is super important. Like now, all these scopes, excuse me, are putting rangefinders in them. And it's just the only thing I will tell you is that reads out as you scan, right? You can put it on scan mode like yours. John?
On mine, when you push the button, I think you can set it for like 5, 10, maybe 10, 20, 30 or seconds.
So when you put it on something,
it'll just continually flash.
Oh,
and read the range for that set amount of time.
Right. And knowing your think about you being a guy like us, come from lights. That's how we started. Knowing your ranges, man. Like I've said it a million times when we had stuff with range. When we finally got my scanner, and we go to one of our spots, I'm like, oh my god, that's not that far.
Right.
Like I let a dog go because it looked like it was 500 yards.
Yeah. It was 250,
and it wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the depth perception thing.
Well, it's being able to see terrain at night is so hard, even thermal or IR.
Right.
The terrain. I mean,
we too poor for thermals.
We have our scanners.
Yeah, right. Our scanners. And they weren't. I like the night vision. Because you listen, so you hear us joke about it all the fucking time. But The boys are like with the thermals. They're like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Man, your scope's like way more than mine, man." You know, like, why you? Don't ask me, because if it's a coyote, I'm going to shoot it. Because we say that all the time too. If we hear "I can't" or "what is," it's over. Especially Josh is a shark now. I mean, he'll rob his fucking grandmother. It doesn't matter.
Oh, that's my buddy Taylor. He's the same way. He used to do a ton of competitions. And it's funny. It's like a race. If somebody goes with us, they don't have a chance. It's pretty much when it's within 400 yards and I shoot out say a number and it stops, it's shot.
Right.
Well, we're scanning the field. I see one. Even hey, it's here.
Right.
And I hear I can't. Yeah. And I'm on the scope. I'm pulling the trigger.
It's over.
Like that
because and we don't really care. We fuck with each other about it, but only because we're out there to do a job. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
oh yeah, totally.
You got to get it done. I don't care if I mean, I've had situations. I shot a double on my birthday, 2 years ago now, and I was alone, and I didn't think I was even going to see anything, and I brought one mag with me. It wasn't the full one, no pistol. And I shot the first dog, and the first dog was a poke, and I was just having trouble. Like, I hit this thing everywhere. It just kept spinning, and it wouldn't go down. And I'm like, "You're not running." So I kept, now you're trying to hit a moving target. That's, doing the Tasmanian devil all the way across the field. So I went through a whole, 5-6 rounds, and I reached in my pocket, and I'm like, there's nothing there. And when I shot the second one, I emptied my bolt, and my gun has got AR style mags in it. So when you go to close it, if it's empty, it don't close. And I was like, wah, and I was like, oh shit. And he was down, but I literally left the e-collar, dropped everything, and ran for the house, because it was by the house here, to get more bullets. I had a pocket full of bullets, 2 more magazines. I grabbed my pistol. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to find with these other, with the one that was spinning. And we dropped it to Fur Girl, and she goes, "Where'd that dog come from?" And I'm like, it was mine. And she's like, "What happened?" I'm like, "He wouldn't lay down. He was being a bad boy." So I hit him in the paw, the leg, the back leg, the guts. I mean, that thing was mincemeat when I got done with it.
Sounds like my first one.
Yes.
That poor dog.
Jeez.
Yeah. But that was red light days, too.
Yeah, it was.
So... But, but even, we talk about that story all the time, but, we shot, 2 coyotes that year.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, my God, we're fucking rock stars, And, now, and that's the other thing that we always push on people. It's like, we do all right for where we're at, and with the pressure that we have on these, there's a bunch of guys doing it here, which is great. And, but, there's people out there that are way better. You know what I mean? As far as number, and you see all these different numbers. Even all over the state here. Some guys say they see 6 or 8 a night. Like, here we go. Mike's gonna make fun of me, but Brian, he had that one. He saw 9 that night. We've never seen 9 dogs in a night.
No,
ever.
The most you saw is 6.
I
saw
7.
6 in a night. Here.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah.
And but that's it. Is like there's so many dry stands that you go, and the time that we have invested in this, it's insane. And ever since, now, making content and the Facebook pages and the lives and stuff, so we're trying to push ourselves even more. And we're being invited to these shows and meeting all these. We're meeting so many great people. A lot of them listen to us now, and you never know. Like, say you're standing in a crowd of people, there could be 15, 20 coyote hunters in there. You wouldn't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
we're
totally.
the back alley of the hunting world,
Yep.
I guess.
Yep.
And then we have the people that criticize us for it. But without us,
I gotta say,
well,
for all the stuff that we post, which we put out an episode every 2 weeks.
Yep.
For a year and a half now. We've only
had a
had
couple, right?
2 comments on YouTube saying like, "Oh well, get ready for." Well, one was get ready for the like pretty much the haters.
Right.
I was like, I'm not worried about them.
Right.
And then we had another guy that was like, "Oh, you guys should go out, do something good for the world or whatever."
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
Like why why are you coyote hunting? And I was very diplomatic in my response.
Right.
I was like,
that's why you handle that shit.
I was like,
not the hothead me.
I was like, wow, those are some really strong words. I'm sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, but remember when that happened? I was like, how the fuck did they even end up where?
Right. How did you find us?
Right.
Like
if
if
you were
that's
that bored surfing the
if
web
that's
one
not
day,
what you're into, how
Right.
on YouTube of all things? Like,
right. Let's find shit that I don't even care about and watch it.
That caters to whatever you've watched in the past, like your algorithm, as they call it. Like,
well, our smartphones are listening.
Yeah. But why are they finding coyote hunter stuff
I don't know.
on YouTube? Anyway,
I never could.
The guy wound up apologizing and saying, sorry, whatever. And
Yeah,
it was fine.
You're entitled. We say it all the time. Everybody's entitled to their opinion and their beliefs. Doesn't mean it's mine.
Right.
Exactly.
I started coyote hunting because I lost an animal to a predator, and that's
Same
when
here.
I, decided there's only room for one, and that's me.
Yep.
So that's the ultimate question here.
Yeah. What got you into it?
What got you into it? What was your first kill?
Yes. I want to know it all.
My wife and I just built our new house. We just got married, and I think the main rifle, only thing I had at the time was a 7mm Magnum. I had did some hand loads for, and my wife says, "Oh, there's a German Shepherd out in the backyard," and I only had a pair of boxers on. And
That's all right.
I grabbed the rifle and I looked, and I'm like, "That's not a German Shepherd. That's a coyote." And it was heading away from the house to go to our other hayfield that we got. And I went running outside, and at the time, my dog, I thought had left her in the garage and had the door locked, so she couldn't get out. And I was about ready to shoot as the coyote turned broadside, and my dog hit me in the leg, about maybe filled my drawers because I thought something else got me.
Oh, jeez.
But dropped the coyote, and that was my first one. And then everything since then has been because we had 2 calves come up missing at the farm.
Oh.
And
He
since
really
then,
is a man after my own heart.
the neighbors around here, they all have their properties for deer hunting and stuff. And opening morning, they'll send a text. They're like, "What'd you get?" And it'd be like 8:00 in the morning on opening day of gun season, and I'm like, "A coyote with my muzzle loader." They're like, "Really? You wasted your first shot on a coyote?" I'm like, anytime it's a coyote, it's coyote season.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then I shot a 10-point about an hour later.
Yeah, so that always goes into another thing we always talk about is like deer, predator hunting during whitetail season or deer or gun season, however you want to call it, and the pressure. A lot of people don't want us in there, which is fine. We respect it.
Yep.
But
Same here.
we're not in where the deer are bedded. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not only that.
Heck, I can show you a video where we're standing over 2 dead coyotes in an alfalfa field, and there's probably 120 deer in the field with us.
Right.
Wow.
And they're not leaving even when we're dragging them out.
Yeah. Well,
We don't, nighttime hunting and calling doesn't bother them like most deer hunters think that we do.
Right.
Yes.
We really don't. In fact, sometimes it really brings them in, especially when it gets to be springtime, kind of, you're doing a fawn bleach or something.
So that's 2 things. Do you have a season in Michigan, or is it year round?
We do. We were year round up until last year, I think it was, and they turned it into a 9-month season. So it shuts down April 15th and opens back up June. Yes, 3 months later.
Okay.
On the
Pups
15th.
are still pups. They're not out when you're shooting them, and then they're out.
it gives them time to at least birth them.
Yeah, and to my understanding, the person that brought that up was actually another hunter.
Really?
It was a dog hunter, because they're saying that the callers were killing more coyotes than the dog runners, which actually, to tell you the truth, it's the other way around.
So
yeah, because you
who
guys
run
they run dogs out there, like the videos
Yeah.
you see with the pickups and they run them.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah, so they'll drive a pickup. They'll see a coyote in the field, and a dog on the back of the pickup. They have his dog cages. And they pull ropes to turn them loose.
Or if they cut a fresh track on snow in the wintertime,
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll chase them all day long.
To
That
do
takes all the fun out of it, though.
to do it once though, like just to experience it, I think would be fun.
Yeah,
it's
to
not
watch
something
it.
I want.
Yeah, hell yeah, I
Yeah.
won't be in the pickup having a cocktail.
Right, doing 40
Okay,
across the
boys.
field.
I'll be here tying one on.
Doing 40, 50 miles an hour across the field, chasing this thing down. I think that would be fun to do one time, but that's not like.
Yeah.
Well, we got to go to Michigan. Fuck it.
All right, well,
Let's go steal the camper. My old
Oh, you
man-
guys don't need a camper.
Well, I just, I do. I'm
we
going to make everybody else drive. I'm going to fucking sleep all the way out there. I need a vacation.
Sounds like the kid that goes with us when we go to horse shows. As soon as we get in the semi and the horses are loaded, he's in the back sleeper out like a light till we get there.
I can't sleep in the car.
Oh, I love doing it. Well, that you know why? Because I grew up in a truck with my father riding and sleeping in it.
Except that time Jeremy came up here. That night, I was so tired I was
It was
falling
4
asleep.
a.m. when we got done.
Well, yes, but I was so tired I was actually falling asleep.
Yeah, poor Jeremy from Pennsylvania comes up, drives all the way up here. So we hunt Thursday, Friday nights. I wanted him to go out with me and Josh, or he wanted to, or whatever. And he gets here. I'm drinking a cocktail, and he goes, "Well, that ain't iced tea." I was like, "No." He goes, "Oh fuck, I can smell it from here," And he still busts my balls about that.
Oh yeah.
But he left. Well, yeah, we got done 3. We didn't see a fucking coyote. No, we saw 2.
Well, we did, but they were like 1,200 yards out.
Yeah. We ended up they ended up being on a property that we didn't think anybody else was hunting, but come to find out somebody else was.
Yes.
So when we had gotten down there and did our thing, they responded. They came off the mountain, started coming down and circled so far out, and they got close-ish to us and then turned around and burned, and they were out. And they didn't wind us either.
No.
They just were on it. Like they've been through this game before.
Mm-hmm.
It's around here. You run a rabbit or any prey to stress, they don't stick around.
No, we've had the same issue.
Yeah, we
for
don't use
like
it.
past 2 seasons.
Right.
We've had the same thing.
vocals,
Like
man.
you hit that rabbit, and they're like, no, turn around. And
Well,
they're
the young
there.
ones. October.
Wow. October.
Yeah.
Different story. But they haven't heard.
Right.
They think food. They don't know that there's a gun on the other end of that call.
No.
That's all we need
Look,
is
I've
a
actually
bullet
had
that howls when you shoot at it.
I've had better luck with it's a call on one of my Fox Pro. I got a Fox Pro and I got a Lucky Duck on the Fox Pro. I think it's called Screaming Monkey. I've had better luck with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because being that you're a suppressor guy, you're a cheater anyway.
You're just jealous.
But, well,
maybe
be
a
it as
little.
it may, but it doesn't matter. You're still a cheater.
Yeah, I tell you what, my wife would never go shoot guns or anything. And as soon as I got a suppressor, then she'd go out coyote hunting with me, and she shoots guns out behind the house now. And yeah, it
Well,
makes
that's
it
why
really
they
nice.
should legalize them. But it's the assholes. You know what I mean? That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Well, it's because they make it sound like a movie. It doesn't make a sound, and they make a sound still.
That is such, that's the wrong of it is they think, it's John Wick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not.
No.
But we want them just for the, because even though we're out shooting at night, people call the cops
Oh, yeah.
on us.
Yep.
And it's like, we just want it for them. You know what I mean? So we're not bothering people.
Yeah.
It's the big.
Well, it's
and
like-
I want to shoot like a quad once. That'd be
cool.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if
Heck yeah.
if I shoot my 223 and then the Tika goes off, you're done, man. It's over. Which is why we wear comms and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, we wear the
Ear protection.
ear protection.
Yep.
Which
Yeah,
on
you
nights
don't
I
have to
go
do-
out solo, I don't, and holy shit, do they ring? Because if
Yep.
I go out solo and if there's 2 or 3, I might not hit the other 2, but they're gonna remember who I am.
Yep. That's like the OT6. I built a Form 1 for it, and that thing sounds like a 22 shooting. But you take it off, it's a cannon.
Yeah, I'm gonna have one.
Yeah, I get accused of shooting a howitzer every time I put
Oh,
on
that
the
fucking Tika, Mike. Oh my god. When that
Those-
thing goes off, it'll blow your fucking underwear right off you. With your pants on. It's the
So my-
percussion from that gun is unbelievable.
See, I haven't even attempted to even shoot the 22 Creedmoor. That's only an 18-inch barrel on that. I haven't even shot that without a suppressor.
I think
I should someday.
My Ruger's short like that. And that's the other thing is people think you need these long barrels all the time to keep them accurate.
No.
And that is not the
No.
case. That is not.
Nope.
I had an old timer that used to do it, day hunt.
Yep.
And he was like, "How long's your barrel?" I'm like, "It's 18-inch." He goes, "You're shooting 300 yards with an 18-inch barrel with a 223?" I'm like, "Yep,
Yeah.
sure do." And he's like, I have a hard time believing that. I said, "Well, I'm not surprised, but I do it all the time." And my Ruger, even my bolt gun, it's short, and I love it. I mean, I was a little nervous about it at first, but being as I won it in a raffle, I didn't really care. I still took it.
Exactly.
But that little gun is just, I love it. I love the short barrels.
It's killer.
But so we got through. Go ahead.
My buddy, he found a gun for me, and so we picked it up. It's a 22-6 millimeter Remington.
Never heard of that.
22-6.
It's just a 6 millimeter, 6 Remington neck down, and I still haven't got any cartridges around for it. But man, it is a pretty gun for a wood stock.
Yeah.
Normally I like my chassis, but I saw that and I saw the caliber. I'm like, okay, I like different, and that is different.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds very unique.
Yeah, that's why I want a 25. Man, it's different. I'm gonna have one.
I still don't know how you didn't.
It doesn't kick at all.
Yeah, I don't care about that. That doesn't really bother me that much. I would love to be able to shoot them suppressed, but it's just when we were younger, I can remember my uncles had one, and a 2506, and looking at the bullet, I'm like, man, because it's got the 06, but it's so tiny,
Yep.
and it just, I don't know. To me, it's an old school Predator cartridge,
Yep.
The 222, the 2506, the 223, 22-250. Those are your OG calibers. And now, it's like when the Creedmoors came out, it was like everybody got all hot and bothered, about them. And we had great bullets back then with the older calibers. There's nothing wrong with them. That's all just sales pitches that they push on you. It's so stupid. But
it's like Taylor. He's always preached to me a hollow point over ballistic tips, and that's all. I use hollow point boat tails, and I run a 69 grainer in the Creed, and it's running about 3,500, and I haven't had a runner yet this year. So
that's it. And then you start talking. People are like, runners.
Yeah.
We've said this a million times. It's all about shot placement. Those dogs are so tough.
Oh yeah,
ungodly tough. And if you're just a hair off, man, and don't hit them vitals, it's over. It's over. Their will to live is unreal.
It's like the 25-06. My buddy Taylor and I always discuss about hydrostatic shock, and that 25-06, I was running, like, most of them are like 110 to 125 grain bullets. I got my hands on some 85 grainers on nozzler ballistic tips, and I was pushing them about 3,700. And you just pick up a coyote after you shot it and shake it, and it sounds just like a watermelon inside, but it would never blow a hole out the other side unless you hit far back.
Right.
But you hit the rib cage or the shoulder, there's just a pinhole in.
Right. So there's not a lot of fur damage with that round then.
Yep.
So
it hits hard.
First coyote. So now you said you have a partner now. Did you always have a partner?
No, I didn't know anybody around here that even hunted coyotes.
Right.
He's from my area where I live at now, and his dad had bought a barn that we used to store hay in, and he was like, "Oh yeah, my son hunts, and he does some competitions and stuff, and he's done some winning." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And it was like a week or two later, and I was at the gas station in town, and town's 15 miles away, and there's a truck sitting there with a night snipe sticker in the back and a bunch of other like coyote hunting stickers, and I'm like, that's odd. So I started talking to the kid, and he goes, "Yeah, my dad and I live from out in the area, and he bought this one farm and the barn." I'm like, "Is there hay in there?" And he goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay, that's my hay." And we started shooting the bull, and he's like, "Well, what are you doing? And I told him a farrier, horseshoer. And he goes, huh, where you live? And I told him. About 5 o'clock that night, I was at home resetting one of our horses, and he pulls in, knows nothing about horses, and he stood there for about an hour just watching me work. And then from then on, we've hunted ever since.
Wow. How long you guys been hunting together?
God, I think we've been together 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah.
If I'm thinking right. Because our first night out, we took a rifle that was a 22-250 AR-15. A guy had gotten a bunch of parts from a company out in California that used to build them, but they didn't get them to work correctly. And we figured it out.
Okay.
And I had it, but it wasn't suppressed. And we took it over to one of the farms over here by where I live at. And a deer jumped out, and he saw it to the left, and a coyote jumped out in front of us, and I shot. And he's hollering to me, that's a deer, that's a deer. And I'm like, that's not a deer, it's a coyote. And I shoot again, and he's like, will you quit shooting? I'm like, I will now. And he's like, you shot a deer. I'm like, I did not shoot a deer. We walk out there, and he goes, huh, I never saw that coyote. also, the 22-250 didn't have a suppressor because it wasn't threaded, and it blew our eardrums off.
Yeah. See, we don't know that. We only know it our way.
Yeah. Hearing protection.
Yeah.
The headsets.
Well, I hear that they're trying to change that, though.
Yeah.
Or is that just rumors?
Well, they are, but I don't know if that's going to affect it at a state level. Like federally, it'll be different. But as far as the state,
the governor's going to fuck us.
Well, I mean, she does that every day if she could.
Have you met ours?
No, I don't. I can't. I don't know. Ours is pretty bad. But
try and introduce something new every day.
Well, that's like we talk about this too. The girl that's in. Well, I don't know. Don't quote me. The person. Let's say person that's in charge of the DEC with like the hunting regulations. Never even hunted before.
Yeah.
And yet they're in charge of coming up with the regulations for hunting. And it's like, how can you do that?
Yeah. You have to
exactly.
That's like me being a brain surgeon. Like, well, doc, my head's messed up. Well, I can fix it.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Just lay
got a
down
hammer
here.
and chisel.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a torch. Burn a hole in there and see what's going on.
Use a torch to cauterize it.
Yeah. Good old hot wrench. Anyway. So you guys, that's all open ground. You got a lot of property. That's all open ground like that. Do you have any kind of terrain?
No, there's a lot of woods. There's a lot of woods here. There are wooded lots and stuff. You might have a 5 or 10 acre field, or you might end up with a 100 acre field. Like up where he's at, there's a lot of open area, but there's a lot of wooded areas. Down here where I'm at, it's a lot of smaller fields.
Right. So it sounds like ours.
Yeah, similar.
Yep.
Do you got a lot of? You guys walk far from the truck, or how's that work?
What's that?
Like when you're getting on stand, do you have spots that you gotta? Oh, what's that? He says. So that's a no. Right.
So not same regs as here.
Yeah, not
If
the same.
I'm walking a long ways, it's because we're gonna go get a dog.
Oh, well, shit. You might as well just take the truck at that point.
The ground can be soft underneath where we're at some days.
Yeah.
You know all about soft ground. This
Yeah. Yeah. Soft ground sucks.
Especially when you're doing hay on it too. I hear.
Yeah, it's not fun. I didn't have fun today. That's why I'm drinking. I forgot to even get a hold of you, and then Josh had texted me, and he's like, "Oh, Mike's gonna be on, right?" I'm like, stand by." Hopefully you remembered. But you said you wrote it down. You're better than I am. I'm not organized at all.
Oh, if I don't write it down, I'm in trouble.
Right. So you shoe horses, though?
Yes, sir.
Like a lot of horses? Do you got like it's a full-time gig, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I've been shoeing 26 years now, and right now I've got about 300 head I do every 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh wow! Oh wow! No barefoot ones.
and I just turned 50.
Oh, well, happy birthday! Oh, that's right. Your birthday was.
Yep.
Yeah, I see now on Facebook. I'm
Yep.
bad.
Well, happy birthday.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
Happy birthday.
My wife says I'm going on 10.
Oh, Well,
you fit right
yeah,
in with us.
we the same thing. Same thing.
I always go by the theory it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is permission.
Oh, sure it is. Absolutely. I agree 100%. That's why I have all the rifles I have.
Exactly.
Right. Because she's like, where'd this one come from? I'm like, well.
I may
You
have
found it.
seen Tony the other day.
Yeah, I might have went and seen Tony the other day.
Things
and
happen.
I get there and I just like the one time it was a 410 coach.
Yep.
And I didn't even tell her about it. I went up there for bullets and this thing was hanging on the back wall. I said, Tony, what is that? Because it's a coach. You can tell it's a coach. And he said, that's a 410 side-by-side coach. And I'm like, let me see it. And I touched it, and I was like, yeah, I hand it right back to him, and he's like, that's it? I'm like, yeah, go put it in the back. Give me the papers. You know, it was done. So what happened was we were going out to breakfast one morning with the kids, and she got in the truck, and she went in the truck for a napkin for the kids. And this gun receipt falls out. And she's like, what the hell is this? And she starts reading it. She's like, 410 Coach. What the hell is that? Because it says Guns Inc. right on it. You know?
Oh, yeah.
And,
yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I bought that. I got to go. I just didn't pick it up yet. Like, I had $100 in my pocket, and I just put it on layaway so I go get it.
There you go.
And she's like, man, you don't tell me anything. I'm like, not everything. So I just forgot. And she's like, you forgot that you bought another gun? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, happens.
Yep.
I'm getting old. I forget.
Yeah, you get to that point, you got to.
Right. Well, anyway. So, you got anything for Mike? I think we covered it all. It's like Mike's like an open book.
Sure.
Do you use hand calls, Mike?
I want to get into doing that in diaphragms.
Well, Josh is your guy. He does. You got to practice.
The diaphragms, yes. Well,
Yep.
I mean, you've heard us call it windshield time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a lot of windshield time, trust me.
Well, there you go. When you're in the truck by yourself, because they'll blow the eardrums out of your passenger.
That's my blue healer.
Okay. Well,
She's heard me do that quite a bit.
yeah. Just pop the diaphragm in and try the different sounds. It takes some practice.
Yep.
I say I'm okay at it. Brian says I'm really good at it.
Uh-huh.
Carl says I'm pretty good at it. As far as open read stuff, I would definitely get a hold of Brian, grab one of his howlers. Very versatile. You can make a lot of sounds with just the one call.
Okay.
I just picked one up a few months ago at a show that he was doing. Carl's had one for a while. Absolutely love it.
You can do a rabbit with a howler.
Yeah,
hands down.
Really?
You get your bite just right on it. You can, yeah.
I had an issue with a fox, and I didn't bring an e-caller with me, or the batteries are dead in the remote, something like that. And I just went real high on low. Well, how would you say this? High or low? High pitch, end of the reed.
Yeah,
so
low,
at the tip, and just squeaked like a mouse.
Yeah,
and that thing couldn't resist it.
Yeah,
could not.
I bet.
Now it was running away with a duck in its mouth. It had a duck, and dropped the duck and came back. And I was like, and I recorded it on my rifle scope, and you can hear everything, And I was telling Brian about it, and he's like, that's what makes you guys so great. It's like you're you don't just have one thing for one thing.
Right.
Yep.
When we went up there and hunted with him, my lanyard's got 3 howlers on it and 1 rabbit. That's it. Well, it's got his rabbit, his howler, and I run Primo's calls too, Randy Anderson stuff, and but I can make. There's so many sounds you can make with a hand call.
Yeah, and like this past season, and you've heard us talk about this. We've integrated using both together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like a rabbit and a fight.
It's
golden, baby.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go wrong.
me and Taylor, we were talking one night. We are like, we should take 2 callers tonight and do some playing. And he's like, well, I got a spot where we can go. And basically the field, it's overgrown of all these, like a reed type tree that's about the size of your thumb. And it's like 150 acres of it. And you got them in sections of 300 yards. And then it goes to a ditch and then it shoots across. And we're in a 24-hour competition that night locally. And he dropped me off down at the 300-yard section. He goes, I'm going to go to the other end. I'm going to call you, and we'll put our AirPods on. And I'm like, okay. Well, we'd gotten, like 2 foot of snow. And there was only like maybe 25 teams, 26 teams. It was just a local thing that we were doing. And we had zero luck that night on anything. And we get to this spot. He drops me off. He goes down. I can't even see where the truck's at. He's down there quite a ways. And all of a sudden, he calls me, and he goes, okay, go ahead and start your caller. He goes, well, I'll do with the first howl, and you run your second howl. And I'm like, okay. He runs his howl. We heard a howl. I howled, and then I heard growling. And then all of a sudden, they started coming. He goes, here comes 2 from the east. I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden, I shoot. And he goes, what are you doing? I just shot a coyote. And it ran out and stopped at the ditch in front of me. I dumped it. He goes, well, those 2 are starting to go away or something like that. And another one run out, and I shot that one. And I shot a third one. And he's like, will you quit shooting? I'm like, I've got 3 dead coyotes. And all of a sudden, a 4th one came out, and I shot it, wounded it, and I ran off into that stuff, and we couldn't find it. He finally shows up. How many of you got down here? I said, 3. And that's what it took to win the competition that night, because nobody else, there's only one other team that showed up with a fox.
No shit. Wow.
It's like, but running 2 calls, like we tried it at another place that we hunt at. And we ran both Fox Pros that night, and he was a long ways away. He was a good 500-600 yards away from me, and he set the caller out in front of him, and he called, and we're on his AirPods, and all of a sudden he runs his caller, I run mine, and all of a sudden his starts just making really weird. He was doing elk sounds and a bunch of other sounds. So my remote was running his on different stuff. All of a sudden I see him running across the goddamn field to get his caller.
To turn it off?
To turn it off because it was running elk sounds and something else. And I'm like, what in the world is he doing?
Should have sent it. Maybe it might have worked.
Wow.
That's what it is with these coyotes, is being different.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
being
as pressured as we are here because of all the hunters.
Yeah, we're same boat.
We have to like go way outside the box and try different things to get.
We
got
to walk. We got to walk because a lot of guys will roll up and jump out of the pickup and they're right there, and then they're right there.
Yeah.
Yes. You want to? They get smart to that. Mm-hmm. These things aren't stupid,
Yep.
So we have to, we put the extra effort in and go for hikes, which is super fun. Super fun.
Is it though?
Yeah, it's super. I have a great time. My big ass trudging through the snow.
Oh,
yeah,
it makes it. What makes it even better is when you're dragging a 40-pound coyote back to the truck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what, so. How big do they get out your way? That's a good one.
There you go.
They get into the 40s.
Yeah. What's your biggest?
Upper 30s.
Do you weigh them?
We did there for a little while. My biggest is when it's at the taxidermy, and he was pretty light blondish color, and it was just a fluke thing. I got home from work about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and I heard a dog coyote barking off to the west. I go inside to talk to my wife, and I told her, and she's like, "Yeah, that thing's been barking since like 7:30." She goes, "I got home from the farm at 7:30, and it was barking the whole time then." I'm like, I'm going to go for a walk. So I grabbed my stuff and got out behind the house, and it just shut up. So I headed across the yard, through the woods, through the hayfield, across the road into the neighbors where I hunt. And I'm looking out there, and there's like 50 deer out there, no big deal. And I set the caller out. Yeah. Ripped the howl and nothing. And I looked to my left about a minute later, and there's 2 deer doing a Mach 3 straight south. I'm like, oh, coyote's down there in the swamp. Also, I look back straight out in front of me, and there's one standing straight out in front of me, about 120 yards coyote, and put the .6 on it and shot it square in the neck, and it literally just laid down to the side.
Right.
And I walked over to check it out, and I'm like, this is the fattest coyote I have ever seen and the lightest, prettiest hair coat I've ever seen. So it's at the taxidermist right now, And I want to do one of those mouse where they're jumping up like they're going to pounce on a mouse, and he's going to put like a freeze-dried mouse on it.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a sucker for blondes. I got a bunch of them hanging in here.
My biggest, which was this past season, was what, just over 40 pounds?
Yeah.
Was a blonde.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one field we hunt, it's all blondes there.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Mine that's at the taxidermist.
You got a lot at the taxidermist, don't you?
Yeah, a couple grand. I worked on her hay mower last week though, so you know what I mean. She tried
You're
to
good
hand
for the year.
She tried to hand me money. I was like, "What are you crazy? I owe you like $2,000. You know, why don't you just put that back in your pocket? You know."
There you go.
She's that one's a blonde, and it's gonna have black squirrel in its mouth. Because I was like, "What do you got?" You know, well, I'm like her, I guess now. I pick up all kinds of dead shit if it's fresh in the road. And she's like, "Yeah, I got a couple rabbits. You know, if you want to do that." Or I was like, "Do you have any squirrels?" And she's like, "Yeah, I have squirrels." And I was like, "Do you have a black squirrel?" And she was like, "I have 2." And I'm like, "Perfect." So it's going to be blonde with a black squirrel in her mouth, head and shoulders of squirrel, and the rest hanging out. But yeah, we get a lot of which is going to bring me into my next question to you. We give her everything we shoot.
Mm-hmm.
She does whatever she wants with it, unless it's something we want back.
Yes.
A lot of the bobcats I take back because I love bobcat fur. It's so soft, and
That's a goal.
Wall hang them all, you know. So, but the best part about her and how she does things is like my wall hangers. If I decide down the road, you know, if I win the lottery and have this huge man cave that I have planned out in my head that I'll probably never have time to sit in, I can take all these dogs I have and put them on a mold. They're 100% ready to go for that.
Good.
So I just, you know, I take back the nice ones. The blondes, like I said, I'm a sucker for that. You know what I mean?
My goal is a black coyote.
Yeah, that's everybody's goal.
Yeah.
Tony got one, which figures.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
Which is great. I was super surprised. He texted me that, and he's like, "Dude, I got a unicorn." I was like, "No." And he sends me pictures of it. It was the prettiest dog you ever seen. And I mean jet black. We've seen some dark ones, but not
black.
blondes. We shoot blondes all day.
Yeah.
All day. Or red. You know, we get a lot of red, like a brindle almost.
Yeah.
I did get that one back. I had one that was gray like a gray wolf. I mean, like gray and white and no brown at all. My mother-in-law stole it. It's in her house. I go walking in her house with it to show it to her, you know, because she always looks at her stuff. And she's like, "Is that for me?" And I'm like, sure. But I was going to take it because I don't have that color phase, but it's fine. I'll just shoot another one.
Yep.
Which brings me to my next question. What do you guys do with your coyotes? Do you fur them? Do you skin them out?
So we were doing, like when my wife was going during COVID, we called it COVID date nights. She'd go out till about midnight, go do 2 or 3 stands with me, just to go scan with me. And so heck, we had some coyotes that we could take over to there's a couple fur buyers in our area.
Awesome.
And like, there's one place that we knew there was a pair of them. And the female, she just had the prettiest haircut, and took her over there. And the guy goes, I'll give you, I think it was like $65. He goes, if you give me the male, I'll get you 150.
No shit.
But that was like in 21.
Oh, wow.
And then roughly they float around 20 to $35 a coyote.
Do you skin them or you take them over there live? No. Or not say live, I guess, but unlived.
Exactly.
Whole.
Stiff. Yeah. No, you just call them in, shoot them, and most of it's eradication for farmers and stuff, and then just take it over to them.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he gives you how much?
At that time, it was anywhere between 20 to 35, $40. But right now, they're not worth nothing.
Yeah.
In fact, I got a guy not too far away. He wants the skulls because he's got the beetles and stuff.
Yep.
And was selling them that way. So that's what we were doing with it. If it's got a nice hide or something, I'll have them tanned and I hang them here in my office. So
Mike's
there's more
so
coyote
good.
stuff in here.
Mike's so good he
years.
sends pictures while he's talking to me.
Yeah, the one is that the one lighter colored dog that was really thick.
Oh wow!
As you can see by the 4 little posts coming out his legs.
Yeah, they're like
Boy, that thing is.
pencils.
How much did that weigh?
I don't know. I didn't weigh it. I was too excited.
Can you? Happens. Can you? What about her? What about teeth? Did you look?
They were white.
Yeah, but he had them all, right?
So
it
yeah, he
wasn't
had them
an
all.
old dog.
He had big fangs. He was a very healthy dog.
That's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
know.
we can shoot dogs like. Yeah, that's about what we get. It's like that, just like that.
When we took him over to the taxidermist, he looked at that thing and he goes, "That thing's fat." I'm like, "Yeah, he's pretty thick and he's pretty solid." He goes, "I'm going to have to make the form bigger to make him fit."
Yeah.
I go, "Sounds good."
Yeah. Right.
So, but it's
Well, at least so you do something with them.
Oh yeah, most definitely, yeah. As much as we can.
Right. Because that we get that a lot too. Is people are like, "What do you Because a lot of guys just chuck them, and we used to do that. Now,
a couple of years ago, one of my clients, she works for a vet, and he has his own dog food brand and stuff, and he was trying to prove a point with a bunch of other vets around the country that they're having a lot of domesticated dogs come in with high levels of copper in their livers. So they were talking one day and they were like, well, we want a subject that doesn't eat dog food to see what the levels of copper is in there. And they're like, well, it'd be sweet if we could get like a coyote. And she's like, you want a coyote? And he's like, well, yeah, that'd be kind of cool to throw it into the study, because what they were doing is they're doing the samples, putting a number with it or whatever, send it into UC Davis to have it tested, because they're doing it on a national level and not telling them that they were coyotes.
Oh, so like a blind test.
So I think I got like 45 of them that winter, and it was fun because we weighed them, we sexed them, we wrote the date that they were put down, and the health condition, if they had like poor hair coats or bad teeth or anything like that, and then we weighed them all, and then we pulled the livers out, and then he gave us sample jars, and then we just labeled them and took them in, and then when we were done, I handed the paper over to him. The final outcome of the study, they found out, is like, it was stupid as how much a domesticated dog's copper level was so elevated, like 30 million parts per million or something. It was a stupid number. And then the coyotes, it'd be like maybe 10 or 20. It was very mild. There's hardly any copper in their livers.
So they're saying it's coming from the dog food?
Correct. Yep.
Interesting.
Wonder how.
Yeah, because there was a lot of vets that were having issues where dogs are coming in with the high levels of copper in their system. They couldn't figure out why, and then they figured out it just had to be the dog food.
Wow.
That was fun to do that study with them.
Yeah, I mean that's
cool.
Sure. So what kind of numbers do you guys like say? What do you think your population's like? Do you see, I guess it goes along with what you see a night. So do you see 3 a night? Do you see 4 a night? Do you, that kind of thing? How often do you see them during a day?
We see them, depends on the area where you're at. Around here, if we get 2 or 3 a night, that's a good, for me, that's a good night. I'm happy. I'm not going to stay out all night. I got farm stuff or horseless stuff to do. So like for me, I like to try to get out 2 or 3 nights a week. And if I'm only out till 2 or 3 a.m., then I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Same.
It's like, if like last year, I only went out one day deer hunting. I went out opening day because it's a national holiday here in Michigan.
Sure. It's a national holiday here too.
Well,
exactly.
I was done opening
whether it's official or not, it's still a holiday.
Right.
Exactly. Well, up north, the rifle area, they shut schools down on that day.
Oh wow.
Well, we didn't
So,
go.
Well,
yep,
our
exactly. I was the same
starts on
way. As soon as I was
Saturday.
old enough to hunt deer, I skipped opening day, and this year the only day I got out was that because honestly, I got a nice buck here a few years ago, and I'm good for a little bit. But main thing right now is when I'm hunting, I want to go coyote hunting.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think about then in that time of year.
Yeah, I mean, me and the wife shot some nice bucks for here, and we were done
Yep.
opening day, which is great. And I was like, I told Josh, I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm ready.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I love to deer hunt. I did it, doing it with my dad and his brothers and stuff and all the cousins. It's great. We have a lot of fun. It's just something about calling dogs.
Mm-hmm.
When you make us, and then if you get into hand calls, when you make a sound, and it's like being a turkey hunter. You know, Brian says it all the time. You make a sound and something responds, and you can make them close distance like that. That's what it's all about.
It's all about. Yep.
That's the high, you know.
Yep.
And then all the cool equipment that we.
and for me, what I like about it is the hours because I'm gone so much chewing. In the summertime, I don't hunt in the summertime, but we're gone with the horses. But yeah, I get home at nighttime and have dinner with the wife and take care of some things, whatever she needs. And when she gets ready to go to bed, I go out for 2 or 3 or 4 hours or whatever it is. If we're hearing them and seeing them, or I'll stay out later. So,
right. So how early do you go out? As far as like
my buddy Taylor, he doesn't go out till the kids are in bed.
Yeah.
So sometimes when him and I are going out, it's 10 o'clock.
Yep.
If I go out by myself and another guy, I got another guy that goes with us. He's a police officer. He's Ryan.
Well, those
he'll
are
go out with me
handy
during
to
the
keep
week.
around.
Oh yeah. Last year he goes, I got a hunting spot we got to try, and I'm like, okay. And the farm that we were at has a airfield and a huge hay field. And as soon as we get out of the truck, we walk around the barn, and there's 2 objects out in the field. And I'm like, are those coyotes? He goes, I think they're deer. And we did like one little chirp or something on the collar, and they sat up. And I'm like, nope, those are coyotes. And here they come running. And we did the old bark. And when I barked and they both stopped, we dumped them. And then sent a picture to the owner of the farm, and he showed up in a sheriff's deputy's car and lit up the whole field. And it's like, okay, you can turn that off.
We've been lit up. You've heard the stories.
Yeah, we've been lit up.
Oh yeah, yo.
That was a very unfortunate night.
Yeah, and I just stood there with my hands in the air, like, what the fuck are you guys looking for? Like,
Yeah.
There's stickers all over the white truck, coyotes and one predator, and it's like, well, I wonder what these guys are doing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, really?
They apologized though, which was great. They are friends with a friend of mine, and they, passed the word along. Like, we're sorry, we didn't understand. We just see a truck, dumped off in a ditch along the road, and there's bars down the road, so they're like, that's a pretty populated area.
Yeah.
That's one of our tight ones that you can't. You got to be real conscious of where you're shooting.
Yes.
And that's why we're there. The owners know, not to toot our own horn or anything, but they know that we're not, a bunch of cowboys out there.
Oh yeah,
just
mag dumping.
Yeah, throwing lead, and you can't do that. My house has been shot before, so I know exactly how it is. Yeah, because there's state land right across from me, and when the state releases the pheasants, these guys just lose their fucking minds. And my daughter, it was in my bedroom. The BBs hit the window of the bedroom. And my daughter, she was little at the time. And it was so strange, like, it happened, and it was, like, in the fall, and where the yellow jackets are starting to come in to get warm, because they know their end is near. And she literally, the gunshot went off, the stuff hit the window with her and my wife in there, and she got stung by a yellow jacket.
Oh, jeez.
On the, I didn't think it was on the foot or something. It wasn't even. It was like out crawling around on the carpet, and it's so strange. It happened all instantly like that, and I got camera footage from the house camera of the wife going out. So she went ballistic. The old lady did, and I'm on a job, And I'm like, honey, I'll get there as soon as I can. I can't. I'm sitting in an excavator right now. I can't really just run. So she called the cops, and of course they never caught nobody.
No, of course.
But, we try to push the safety thing, especially at night for the newcomers. Like the new guys coming in, the best thing, we say it 100 million times, spend the money on a thermal scanner, get a red light, go out, and because then you're going to be limited on your distance and things like that. You need to learn from the bottom up. The guys that go out just because they can and can buy a $10,000 thermal, those are the ones that scare me because they
don't know how to. It's all about body language,
right? They don't know anything about target identification, nothing.
Yep.
You see those posts on Facebook. What do you guys think this is? Like, really, dude? Go get a night vision. Yeah. At least get a night vision.
Yeah.
And start there, so you can see what you're looking at.
Especially with the IR lights, like what Jason has. Holy crud! Those things. I've got a 38, I think they call it, with the 850 turbo.
Yep, the 850 turbo. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I've got that for AccuFire.
Yep.
Scope. Yep. I got one of those that we use for around the yard and all that stuff, and it's
like
amazing how far you can see with it.
What is my AccuFire scope? I can't even think of it. The
Noctis?
The Noctis?
Yes. TR1. Yep.
You have a TR1? Do you have problems sighting that thing in?
Heck no.
Mine's a piece
No,
of
I haven't
shit.
had a problem with it. I tell you what, you got to pay attention when you're scrolling, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, through the menu. The menu's a little tough. Yep. But I have a Noctis. That's the only one. I had another Pulsar. I had the N450 Pulsar, too. I sold that one, but nobody wants a Noctis because they had problems with them. And
they're not in business anymore, I don't think.
No. I had such trouble. Now, I've sighted lots of rifles in. And I had such trouble sighting in. I had Jason on the phone one day when I was sighting it in to get it straightened down. We did. We used it on a tournament night. I shot that 50 plus.
Was that the 50-pounder?
Yeah, with no teeth.
Oh, had like 3 or 4 teeth left in its mouth.
Yeah, none. It was no molars, 1 or 2 canines.
Boy, yeah.
And he was ready. He was ready to go. And funny thing is, I hurt my back that week working, and I go out and pick this thing up, and I almost crippled me right there.
Oh, jeez.
But we should have won with that dog. It was a big dog.
It was.
And that was back when we tossed them, too. That's the worst part.
Yeah.
But
isn't it amazing how the sound on these scopes are nowadays?
Yes. They're wavy.
We're like the old Pulse. I don't like it because the old Pulsars, it was muffled. Mm-hmm. But like this RH50, if you ever watch one of my videos from coyote hunting, I get so excited. It's like I just saw a 30-point buck, and everybody's like, geez, oh, Pete, you're breathing. And I'm like, yep, I'm excited. I love coyote hunting.
You should have seen Josh shoot his first turkey.
There will be a video up.
There will be. He's got to get that video up. I recorded it, and he shoots a turkey, and I look over, and he looked like he was on the polar ice caps. He was shaking so bad. And I swung the camera so gently right over to him and just recorded him fucking buck fever and trembling, and didn't even tell him. Then he goes back and looks at the footage, and he was like, I had no idea you recorded me. And it's great.
That's having fun.
Right.
Oh, it was so good.
We get that way with coyotes, too. That's the best part.
Oh, the post-shot jitters?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But
for me, it's a very fun adrenaline rush.
Yes. We have a lot
about
of fun
your question, how many we got? So this winter was kind of a slow winter because my buddy was building a house, a barnuminium, and we had stuff going on here with us. I think we were at 39 this wintertime, not including the ones that got out in South Dakota.
Okay.
So you travel a bit to do a little hunting.
I have, yeah. Yep. I got asked to go with a group of guys from Illinois and one guy from Ohio last year. And they're like, we want to do more nighttime hunting. Like, okay. So we did. And then I got invited back again this year. And we got to be good friends with a couple ranchers out there. So that really helps. So you got public ground plus private. So
how are the
then
numbers
this year we
there?
stepped in. What's that?
How are the numbers there? Is it like turn a rabbit on and they show up?
No.
Okay.
The one place we helped a rancher out because the dog's coming across from this one area, and you just basically that particular night we just sat up on top of a ridge and watched them come across and just poked them off as they walked across. We didn't see it. We got like 4 that night.
Wow. That's a good
But
night.
when we saw a whole bunch, we saw a whole bunch of others, but they're all like out there. Hell, you can see a mile away.
Right. And how is that with the thermals at long, like super long distances?
The RH50 is very good. What does it go up to? It goes up to, I can't remember. It's got a very high magnification. The coolest thing about it is it's an ocular zoom instead of digital zoom.
Oh, okay. That's
Okay.
nice.
So it doesn't get pixelated. Like as soon as you zoom in, like mine on mine, instead of hitting a button to zoom from 3.0 to 6.0, mine has a throw lever in the back like a traditional scope, and you just slide it over. So you can go 3 to 4.2, 4.3, 4.5, all the way up to 25 or something like that zoom.
Oh, wow.
I don't know anything about those scopes. They have a picture-in-picture in them?
Yes.
Like a pulsar
I
does?
use that religiously.
Oh, yeah. You got to.
Yep.
Yeah.
I shoot
this,
off the picture-in-picture.
Yep.
Yep, so do I. I'll do that, and if I got runners, then I'll go to the other one if I have to. But
Yeah, wider field of view, yeah.
so I'm hoping there's not runners. But the thing about this scope is after I got it and started playing with it, I realized that it has a internal ballistics calculator. So if you put in all your data, when you hit the scan button one time and it arranges it, if that's turned on and it says it comes up at 402 yards, it'll produce a little red dot right below your crosshair. And for me, I've had perfect luck out to 400 yards hitting it every time. Or if you hard press it, it'll turn into scan mode. And then that little red dot will go away. And then you got
That's the
your
way
two.
ours are now.
Yeah, the AGM.
Is that what it is?
The AGM has it, yeah.
Yeah, we just getting into that. So the DNT, he bought the AGM,
Yes.
I bought the DNT.
Yep.
And they, we're messing with it. They come with a second reticle. It gives you a shooting solution. Makes me feel like a submariner.
So is your DNT just the thermal, or is it thermal and night vision?
Mine is just the night vision.
Okay, I was curious because I'd heard about those scopes coming out a while ago when I was really paying attention to the scopes coming out and stuff. And when they came out with it and then Jason had it, I'm like, man, that's kind of slick, especially if like somebody's getting into it. That's what they should look at with the night vision and thermal, because you can flip it back and forth and all that.
Right.
And then have a rangefinder.
I went the cheapy route, I say cheap. I bought the kit from him with the Hyperion. We talk about his lights all the time. They're extra. They're the best lights you can put on a night vision.
Oh, they are. Yep.
So it's $800 for everything.
Yep.
And I love it. It runs off 18650s. They do well in the cold because the cold is everything. Cold eats batteries. So CR123s, anything. If it's a scope with CR123s in it, I don't even want it.
No, I won't even look at it. Like my buddy Taylor, he runs a 10,000 milliamp Anchor battery. Yeah, and he has that was a TH50C, I think is what his thermal is. He'll run a whole goddamn weekend of us hunting and never have to charge it.
Yeah.
Right.
I gotta say that the as little as I've used the AGM so far, the battery life has been fantastic.
That's the biggest thing with these things.
Yeah.
Is
it is
button layout.
Yep.
Because we're wearing gloves.
Yeah.
We're cold weather.
You wear gloves?
Yeah, jerseys.
Okay.
It's funny you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
I buy the big pack of them at Tractor Supply, and I leave them in the truck because you'd be surprised how often these guys forget their shit.
Not me.
And if nobody's got gloves, that's the only glove I can really run. The Pulsar is not really a big deal. The buttons are big enough.
Yeah.
We do have heated gloves.
Mm-hmm.
But my heated gloves, Amazon specials, the trigger finger and the thumb can open. So whatever. Hang on, I got to think about this. My left hand, I leave those two open. So if I'm running the e-collar remote, or if I got to do something with your scopes, as long as your battery holds, we leave them on.
Yep.
And so what do you got to do? Hit the record button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
That's one good thing about the AGM, the Spectrum, is if the scope realizes it's been sitting for, I don't know what the time period is, but it's sitting still for so long, it'll turn the screen off. And as soon as you
put it in standby mode.
Yeah, and as soon as you grab the gun and it moves, that screen pops right back on.
Yeah. I haven't bought one of those yet. I looked through his, and that's the biggest thing with all this stuff. We say this all the time. It's like we guinea pig all this stuff, and we don't know.
Right.
We don't have no idea. And then we can pass it along and help other people out.
JP gave us some insight to the Spectrum.
Our Pennsylvania boys, were like, this is what you want. He was trying to sell me a bunch of pulsars. And I said, what are you dumping all your scopes for? He said, I got, I tried this AGM and I really like it, and I'm going to switch everything over. I do love my pulsars, so the C50, the app is easy to use, the buttons are easy to use, the scope itself, I've never had I've had battery issues. I had to do a master reset once, but once I did that, it's good to go. And in my scanner is a pulsar as well.
That's like when I got into the pulsars, I had the 38, the 640 core.
Yep.
And I turned around and I got a deal on the XQ50 LRF.
Yep.
And to tell you the truth, I actually like that scope way better than the 38 because it was a lot more. I know it was a 384 processor, but something about it with the rangefinder built into it, it was just with the 50 millimeter. It was a lot more clearer for me to see, to tell what the heck, if it was a coyote or if it was something else or a deer or something.
Because you sound like you have places that have domestic animals as well.
Yes, you have to pay attention to that.
Because that is the last thing we want is to hurt somebody's dog.
Yeah.
You got that right.
Happened.
Or livestock.
Right, or livestock.
Yeah,
so don't use an ATM because a coyote will look like a cow and a cow will look like a rhinoceros. You know what I mean?
The T-Rex.
Yeah, T-Rex. Me and Rusty have had that happen. We watched this dog run these deer around for like 15, 20 minutes, and it was a poke. It was over 3, and Rusty in his 22-250 is a fucking laser beam. He's like, I'm going to shoot it. I'm going to shoot it. And right when he decided that he was going to shoot, it was the farm next door. The porch light came on, and the guy come out, and he whistled.
And the dog came
running back to the fucking house. And he was like, Rusty's a big dog lover, and which is great. He's got labs and stuff. And he's like, I would never be able to live myself if I had done that. And that dog was milliseconds away from getting bit.
Yeah.
And that, so that's the other thing for the new guys. That's why it's so important to know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You don't want to. You don't want to hurt somebody's fucking animal. You know what I mean?
No. Be very careful and safe on that part. And it's like blue healers. The healers.
Yep.
They not very far apart from being a coyote looking in through a thermal if they're not paying attention to the tail posture and all that. So
yeah, probably out there. There's a lot of healers around.
I've got 2.5.
Yeah. 2.5.
Yeah, my wife has her Velcro healer, and I got mine, and then my father-in-law has a miniature.
Oh,
okay.
They make miniature healers?
Yes.
Boy, I bet you that's fun.
You know what? He's not too bad for a 3-year-old. He's doing very good. He's not spastic like you think he would be, unless it's a ball or something.
Right. It gets cracked out.
Oh, yeah.
So, trying to think if I had a whole boatload of what else you got?
So how you're talking about numbers. There's a gentleman up here in Michigan. His name is Randy Booty.
Okay.
He's up on the west side of the state, up along Lake Michigan, somewhere up in there, up north of Muskegon somewhere. and he was doing a thing where he was doing posting because he uses Icotech quite a bit. But him and his wife would go with him every now and then, and his brother. And he does like 600-yard or F-class shootings and things like that. And for a while there, a couple of years ago, he was like up to like 109 dogs one winter. Because he was posting it and then post the number. And, oh, yeah, me and Killer Joe were out tonight, or me and the wife went out for a couple stands each night and stuff. And he was getting to the point where he'd sit there and growl. His signature was he'd growl to get him to stop. And finally somebody says, why don't you just say like a name or something? And he'd say, hey, Ralph, or something else. So somebody would like say, hey, I'll give you $20 to say my name in a video. So he'd just start throwing out names, and the dogs would stop and look, and they'd dump them.
And get $20.
It was cool.
I'm in.
Yep. He was saying all sorts of catchphrases people would say and donate money or for something, and it was cool. It was
that's
neat.
a good idea.
That's fun.
And then you could like donate to like a charity or something.
Sure.
Yep.
That might make people like us.
I don't think people dislike us.
No, there's people that dislike us.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
It's overrated. It's overrated worrying about what they think.
Right, and I don't worry about that. But there's like that. I've shared it a couple times. We have a group text with everybody in it. There's this guy on TikTok that does those specials on coyotes and wolves and what the hell is his name?
I don't know. I remember watching one, and it was just.
And his information, some of it is accurate, but some of it is way off.
Yeah.
And like, so, I didn't want to say anything, but I did. And it was a live, and he was like, well, you're wrong. And I said, no, well, let me take a step back. It might, wherever the hell you are, this situation might be true.
Yeah.
Here, no. So don't be the guy that's on the internet preaching like a Bible to these people.
Yeah.
These dogs are different everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Depending on interaction with people and what they have as far as food, some of them, you can turn a rabbit on 2 miles away, you can see them coming. Do I believe that happens? Sure. Would it happen here? No. Our dogs, if they're interested, they'll show. If not, they'll just, it's like Brian says, they get like ADD and they're just, gone. Well, we've seen it.
We've seen it. Absolutely.
It's like out there in South Dakota, nighttime. I think the law had changed. I have to check before I go back out this coming season, but you had to have a 22 caliber or less, smaller, for nighttime hunting out there. And it's funny out there. You're sitting there and you're driving along, and you get off the road on a piece of property that you can hunt, and you get in the pasture or wherever you're at, and there's a coyote out there sitting at about 600-700 yards, and you rip a howl or you do a mouse or something like that. It'll stand up, walk towards you, and sits back down. And it'll just sit there the whole darn time, and it's like, come get me. And 40-grain bullet with 30-mile-an-hour winds ain't going to do nothing at that distance.
Right.
No.
And it's about 6 inches of crunchy snow, so you're not going to be able to sneak out there.
Right. Oh, I hate crunchy snow.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking hate it. That's the ones you got to try and pick the stands that are, especially on a quiet night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
I really have
nights
about a
are
5 to 10 mile an hour wind.
Yeah.
You
You guys got a decoy on your collar? Is that something that you use?
No, we don't have one of those. Those
Like,
cost
give
too
them
much.
something well, I understand that, but at least,
I'm just picking.
well, don't buy a Fox Pro and you'll be able to afford it.
Hey, I got mine secondhand.
Wow. Do you see the new one? It's got a scale in the remote. The new Fox
I've
Pro.
seen that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what that call cost, but guys, my scale was $20 off Amazon.
Yeah.
Delivered to the door.
Right. So,
Yeah.
like, that thing better do more than weigh them.
Not only that, it's
Yep.
less weight you have to carry out into the field anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
We weigh them when we get back to the truck.
Right.
They don't leak that much.
Yep.
No.
And it's
There you
only
go.
we only do that that's our because we're not allowed to have competitions anymore.
Yep.
That changed what this year? Last
Yeah.
November?
November 1st of last year, it was all over. Yeah.
You can't hunt for sport anymore in New York State.
Really?
Yeah, no more competitions.
No more small game hunts. We don't do
predator,
big game hunts. Nothing.
Oh.
They can't do any of that.
No prize money.
No prize.
Wow.
Yeah, so which sucks and they were like really enforcing it because there was rumors of competitions that weren't happening.
Oh yeah.
And me and I had a DEC guy ask me because he was driving by my house and I'm standing outside with a rifle in my hand and decided to pull in. He's the new guy for the area, super nice guy. Want to introduce himself. And, he says, is that thing loaded? I said, no, sir. I know the rules. Well, you are standing by your truck. And I'm like, yeah, well, this is my house.
Yeah.
So, yes. And then we got talking. He's like, hey, we're looking in. There's a couple of competitions going on. You wouldn't know anything about that. And I was like, no, I don't hunt competitions.
No?
I was like, so I got nothing for you. And then, I start asking guys, like, oh, I heard there's a little competition. Oh, yeah. You want in? Nope.
No, I don't want anything to do with that.
When they're pulling in my driveway asking me about it.
Yeah, you're already on the radar.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, no, I work really hard for the stuff that I have.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give it away over something stupid.
Yeah, it's not that.
Yep.
Plus, we already know we're the best. So,
There you go.
I mean, there's that.
Well, we've heard the rumors about you. I've heard a lot more about Josh, though.
Oh, really?
Really?
I want to know who's telling these rumors.
The quiet one?
It's a group. It's a quiet group text.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I told Josh when me and you talked earlier, and you were like, I don't care what anybody says about you, you're all right. And I'm like, what the fuck are they saying about me? And who's saying it? Like, get them on the phone. Let's hash this shit out right now.
It's just small rumors. Don't worry about it.
No, I'm not. No. Like I said, I don't. I don't care about stuff like that. That's what makes it fun for me.
Oh boy.
Anyway, we've been at this quite a while.
Almost an hour and a half. We're doing good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
See, I told you. I thought Mike was a little nervous. He's like, but I was like, don't worry, it's fine.
I mean, you've obviously listened to us. You know how our format is. We're just sitting around the table bullshitting.
Yep.
We just happened to record it because.
So how many drinks has CJ had?
He's on a second.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going slow.
And I mean, this is kind of like what got the idea of podcasting.
Yeah, he comes here one night
into my head.
I got this crazy idea.
I was like, we sit around for an hour or two every night and just bullshit about coyote hunting. It's like, what if we, do something productive with that time? We'll record it. We'll put it out there. If we get listeners, we do. If not, whatever. I mean, it's.
Well, it's like when I first started hearing you guys, and I didn't know where you guys were from, and all of a sudden, I spent a lot of time in the truck driving because, like, a lot of my clients are over an hour drive away from where I live at, and when I'm working on horses, I'll put an AirPod in my ear because a lot of times clients aren't there either. It's just me and the horse and the dog, and so I'll listen to podcasts and this and that, and I stumbled across your guys's and started listening to it. I'm like, these guys are funnier than hell. This is cool.
So he's shoeing a horse one day. And we're talking about shitting in a field.
Yeah.
And he starts laughing. And this horse is like, what the fuck's wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sitting listening to you guys, and then you're talking bush. And I'm like, where in the hell are these guys at? Are they in Canada or something? And it's like, nope, New York.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's more to us than the island.
Yeah.
The island.
Yeah, way more than what's
too many people.
Lots of people are like, hey, you're from New York? What part of the island? No, man. There's a whole... That should be a whole nother fucking state down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But God knows that will ever happen.
Well, it's like when you got the UP here with the bridge, and they talk about the trolls below the bridge. That'd be everybody on the south side of the bridge. Otherwise, you're a Youper, up there?
Hey.
Yeah. No, that's an idea that's been kicked around for years, is separating from the city. But
they should.
It hasn't happened yet. Well, who says it's going to happen now?
She don't care about us. All her votes are down there.
I know.
Well, it's just like here in the state of Michigan, they had a wolf season because they turned them loose and they decimated the deer herd up in the UP.
Yeah,
like it used to be a huge. It used to be a huge thing for everybody to go up there and go deer hunting because it was just family traditions and deer camps and this and that. And you talk to anybody now, and there are some good bucks up there, but deer wise, I've heard of stories where the wolves sit on the logging roads in the wintertime where it's packed down, and they'll hang around the log yards, and when deer come strolling through, they'll just ambush them.
Really?
Oh,
Yep. But the people that are making all those decisions and voting on it are all coming from Detroit.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not the ones having to deal with their livestock being killed by them
get
and
me
dogs.
On, get me on a wolf.
We have the same situation here. I mean, we don't have wolves, but as far as people that
We got
don't
a big
have,
fucking black bear.
yes,
That was a big bear.
I heard about that one.
That was that day. It wasn't a bear. It was a fucking bus painted black with a white patch on his belly. I will never forget him.
no.
So how many jersey gloves was that?
A couple.
For Carl
Couple
here,
And the worst part about it is, I don't know if you heard it or not, but like we get coyotes to howl after, and Josh is like, "What do you want me to do?" I'm like, "I want to get in the fucking truck."
Yeah, it was.
And it, like I know that that one we have to walk into, and like I'm not an idiot. Like I know like black bears won't really mess with us, okay, unless you're, cubs, mother and her cubs. Then that's that's a big no. But 75 yards, this thing was like a fucking Peterbilt.
Yeah, it was.
It was close.
I was watching our backs as we were walking out.
Yeah.
I kept turning around.
And
see, that's what I want to do. I want to go out west, wolf hunting.
yeah,
I think it'd be so darn fun. Like if you give me an option of an elk or a wolf or even a mountain lion, I think that would be fun to call one in.
ooh, lions, that'd be fun too. But those fuckers will eat you.
Well, oh yeah.
Yeah, and you have to watch your back.
Right. But I'd be down for a wolf hunt. Oh yeah, that would look great on my wall.
Exactly.
Because that's a
Do
whole
all those
nother.
soft mounts.
That's a whole That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, this
Curl
fucking
up in
thing.
bed with that thing.
It's a whole nother thing with like I watch the community boards and stuff in the area, and they start talking about I saw a wolf today standing in a. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No.
I hear you don't.
And and that's another situation where I didn't want to say anything, but I did. And I'm like, listen, if you drive 45 minutes north of us, there's a wildlife museum. In that museum where we did that show is a wolf. There's timber wolves. There's gray wolves. They have every species. There's so many mounts there.
Oh, it's insane.
It's ungodly what they have there.
Yep.
And then the equipment that they've collected over the years. But anyway, they have wolves right next to coyotes.
Yep.
The difference is huge.
There's a big difference.
It's
Oh, yeah.
huge. Like you didn't see a wolf. If you saw a wolf, like show me pictures.
Yeah.
All the trail cameras that are out there, show me a picture.
You're talking the difference of 40 to 50 pounds on a big coyote.
Yeah.
Yep.
To 80 pounds is a small wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're right. That's a whole nother. So, because they talked about having us anything over 50 that is harvested at night has to be turned in and all this. Who the fuck? Number one.
Yeah.
We get them over 50, but they're unicorns.
And it's super.
Exactly.
Super
That
rare.
thing that I shot south of here, it was old.
Yeah.
It no teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as I put the lanyard on it, I knew exactly what I was dragging.
Yeah.
But, other than that, high 30s, 40.
Yeah.
What was our heaviest this year? Who won? Oh, Pierre won.
No, Chip.
No.
Yes.
Pierre won.
Oh, did it? Oh, he
Yeah.
did. Yeah. It
He
was
clutched
like
it last
42, 43 pounds.
Yeah.
In that
the
range.
last night, the last hour, he shot a double.
Yeah.
Solo.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like 40. I think it was just shy of 43 pounds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because he texted me. He's like, "This is the winner. I'm telling you."
Oh, that's right. Because he was gonna.
He was fucking with us. So he
was
hung
gonna,
some, he
air
hung some
quotes,
lead pipe
cheat
off the
and-
back of the scale behind the coyote.
to make it bigger. Yes.
He was just totally. That's how
Is
he is.
he a fisherman too?
No. Oh, yeah, right. With the lead weights. Yeah. No, Pierre's just, he just tries to get a laugh, out of everybody,
He does sound like a funny character.
Oh, he's a good time. He really is. I've known him for years, and then we were hunting, and I was like, and he started seeing me posting stuff and this and that, and he just called me. He says, "Hey, I've shot a lot of them deer hunting. You know, I think I want to get into this, and I'm like, no, you don't. You know,
it's expensive.
It's expensive. And he was like, no, I really do. And then he's a good time, though.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I haven't even heard from him in a while. I figured he would have texted.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
no, we didn't put nothing in the group today about recording tonight.
No, I mean, he's been in the group this week.
Because those bums, they don't want to. They're like, we ain't even look at the group chat. I'm like, well, that's a problem, you know? Well, it's not
exactly.
season. Well, so. But.
Still got to talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Me and Josh are just more obsessed than everybody else. How many days has it been since you shot your last coyote, Mike? Do you know?
It was 1st of April. No. When was it?
Ooh.
Now you got me curious.
March 27th was my last.
Yeah, mine was beginning of March, I think. This says March 13th. It's been 84 days for me.
84?
84.
I don't know how you live with yourself right now.
Oh, it's
This is support group, so
Yeah,
we got to talk about how you feel.
117 days till next season.
117 days?
Mm-hmm.
You got your counter. Josh's got a counter on his phone.
Jeez.
There's
nothing wrong with it.
No.
You got to have goals.
What is it a Wednesday first night? I thought you told me that.
Yeah, I think Wednesday is October 1st.
You took it off.
I will, yeah.
Right.
It's going to be a weekend.
Be a long weekend for you.
I might take Saturday. Fuck
I'm
it.
not ready. I'm not. I need. I know. I haven't slept.
You got 4 months. It's okay.
Yeah. So I'm not ready. I have more guns to build. Now I need a 2506.
Well, that's all on you. I'm
and
all
one of
set.
those scopes he's got. Like, I don't. How the hell am I going to do all
22
this?
Creedmoor.
Yeah. I need them all. I want them all.
So, just out of curiosity, and if you don't want to say it, that's totally understandable. What is a bolt action 22 Creedmoor run?
From what I've been told, there's a place down in Texas that builds them. Oh gosh, what is their name? I knew it. They've got a podcast. It's Horizon Firearms.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, they do some crazy twists fluting on their barrels, on the steel ones, and they've figured out how to flute carbon fiber barrels also. Oh yeah, they're some pretty sweet guns, and they're very accurate. They do a bunch of testing with them because they were like the hard pushers to come out with 22 Creedmoor.
Okay.
To be standardized and become factory. Because I know like a majority of your rounds, like the 80 grainers, you got to buy through them, I believe. I have not seen a place up here in Michigan that sells factory ammo yet, but you can get it down there and have it shipped. Or there's some specialty places down in Texas that you can say, "Hey, look, I've got a recipe for my gun. It likes a 69 or 72 grain bullet with this much powder. Can you run me like 200 or 300 rounds?"
Oh wow!
And then they'll load it up and just send it to you.
That's cool.
So if you've got a factory load that's worked up, it's like I said, my I6, it loves the 85 grain bullets and running about 3,700. I was at 38 and I wasn't liking it. So I just backed it to 37 and it hammers and does its job. But the Horizons, I think those are like 20, don't quote me, but seems like they're between 2,000 and 3,000 for one of those.
Yeah, that's pretty pricey.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I've got very few rifles, just the right ones,
Right.
for what I like to do. But I mean, there's guys like on the Horizon. They were talking that he had a guy in West Texas that shot an elk on a ranch. I didn't know that elk are not native to Texas, so they call it like an exotic.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But he dropped it with an 80 grain bullet at 400 yards.
Wow.
Where'd he
And then they were
heart
shooting.
shot?
What's that?
Must have been a heart shot.
Probably. I mean, with this day and age, with the bullets that are out there nowadays,
You could kill something with 22 in a heart. As long
oh
as it
yeah,
gets in
exactly.
there.
Yeah, they're shooting aoudad, which apparently are very tough down there in Texas, a very hardy animal, and they're shooting them things and dropping them at 600 yards with the 22 Creeds.
Wow.
We need more plates.
We need to set up a
we
longer
had
range.
we had a what was that pair we had up on the road? 640 they were.
Oh, up here?
Remember that night we watched them cross? Man,
I mean, easily.
We weren't even
over
talking out of the
6.
comps at that point. I'm
Yeah,
like, Josh,
no,
I'm
it was-
gonna do this. I'm gonna try. I can't watch these fucking things walk away. And we didn't. We're just like, oh, we'll just wait. We'll see.
Yeah.
And they won't cross that field. They will not cross it. They won't come. But the
Yep.
weird thing is I've seen tracks in the snow where they've crossed that field to the other one on the other side of the road. But like when we're calling there,
No, they won't come off that tree line.
they stay
Yep.
close to the cover.
Don't.
But,
Like up here, up by my buddy Taylor's place, up around his area, they got a lot of wide open fields with like wood lots here and there and ditches, and it's fun when you get one out in the field and it just kind of heads the other direction. It's like, okay, get all the stuff back in the truck, let's go, run around the block really quick and catch them on the other side or something.
Yeah.
right, that's how it is up by Brian.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
We chased him
Yeah,
around the
it's-
block.
you know,
He came down hunting with us one night. We were on one of our tight ones, and we got him to howl. They were two housing developments over.
Yeah.
Like 5 roads. And he goes, I want to go there. And I'm like, we don't have any spots over there, dude.
No.
It's not like
Yeah.
that here. Some people just won't let us. You know what I mean? They
Yep.
don't. They have a lot of woodchucks, and they think that the guy. Well, they do probably eat some of them. You know,
Yeah.
or we had a spot we had that we couldn't hunt no more because we went in there and desecrated some, and then the woodchucks came back, and we got blamed for that. It wasn't our spot; it was one of Cousin Chip's.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
so this year we didn't hunt that at all. Well, we got
Yeah.
to the end of the season, and he's a deer hunter. He's like, "Hey, you guys got to come back."
you know,
And
Yeah, we
Chip's
had-
was like, I can't. Season's over. You know.
Right.
the deer hunters around here where I live at, they found, God, that year we found like 10 dead fawns in our hay fields. They found 16 dead fawns on their property alone, and it's only like 150 acres.
Wow.
And they're like, if you want to start hunting over here, just stay away from the deer season. But as soon as we're done, it's all yours. I'm like, okay. And like one guy, we got 4 off of his place. He's got 160 that's landlocked in the middle of a 2-mile square. And it's a hard property to hunt. And the only way to hunt is to get to the middle of it. So like at nighttime, you ride a golf cart out and then
Golf cart.
run. Yeah, run. The kid that goes with me out there, he's like, "That's crazy." And we get out there, put the car on top, rip a howl, see where they howl from, and then drive to them, and then jump out and try to get close to them to get them stirred up if they're in the one woods to the north or something. So
Golf carts. That's like Jason from Sniper Hog. He's got one of them electric Polaris's
Yeah.
yeah, yep,
set up with the
Yep.
seats and the deck on top and everything.
Oh,
And
Bucky's
I'm like,
got-
that's fucking cheating.
Bucky runs an e-bike.
Yeah, Bucky rides an e-bike.
Yep.
Yeah.
yep.
I'm in with the e-bike thing. I like the idea.
There's a couple guys. One of the guys that goes with us, his brother and his son, they shoot long distance shooting, and they had e-bikes they took out there. And they had a video of the brother dumping the e-bike in the snow. Something happened, and he just bit it, and it's like, oh, that's not good.
That's the only thing I picture one of us ripping through a field in the dark, no
Oh, yeah.
lights on, hitting a
See-
ditch or a woodchuck hole or something, just flying through the air.
Oh yeah, don't realize that ditch is there.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or a pond in Josh's case. He'll be fucking swimming.
Yeah, that's why I like like when you're walking out to the field. There's been a lot of coyotes that will stumble across having the helmet mounted scanners.
Oh yeah, jumping them. Yeah, we scan
Yeah.
all the way out. Somebody or one
yeah.
or two of us scan all the way out because you'll
yeah.
jump them.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You know, and what's nice is having your hands in your pockets or they're nice and warm, and you just walk along and look back and forth.
Yeah, well, I can't stop it. I think JP and Jeremy have helmets.
Yeah, at least Jeremy does, and he might have 2 because
Right.
they were
Yeah.
talking about having JP use one.
Right.
You
I
know,
gotta, man. I
You
said
try
I
it
wasn't
one
gonna
time
buy
and it's-
nothing, you know. But the problem is my scanner, it's pretty big and heavy.
Yeah.
I would have
Well,
to
I mean-
change to something else. I think.
Something more compact.
Compact, yeah.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them that are starting to come out to do that. So I think they're realizing that. Because, like, what are your guys' scope powers on your night visions?
3.
3?
Shit.
My base is
3. Picture is 7.
Well, base will be 3.5 because then
3.5.
the picture is double that. 7.
Yep, 7.
I think
Okay.
AGM's right around there.
You can set it wherever you want.
Between 2 and 3.
You can change it.
Well, yeah, but you can only go so low.
Right.
I think on the C50
it's always double whatever it is.
And I was worried about that with the DNT, but for a compact night vision scope, it's a good scope.
It is.
It's on my long barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun. I take it out, but that Ruger of mine, that little bolt gun, that thing is just so nasty. And I got the trigger set, so if mosquito farts next to it, it's gonna go off.
Mine are the same way. You can't wear gloves when you shoot.
I try not to. That's why I wear the jerseys. My hands are kind of messed up. I lost a few fingers, and they reattached them. So, one on one hand, one on the other. So when it starts getting, it never bothered me when I was younger, but now, I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm old enough that it fucking hurts, So we have the rechargeable hand warmers. I love those. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, like, it's got to be super, super cold for us to pull those out. But I just run the jersey gloves just because of the buttons on the remote.
Yeah, I just have a pair of light gloves that I wear.
We have. I'd say they're like jersey gloves.
Yeah,
your gloves.
There's a company that has it's gel infused fabric, and they don't advertise really at all that I'm aware of. But I know there's a lot of guys here in Michigan that do like the competitions and stuff. And I got a set of them. I got the bibs a couple of years ago, and literally I wear jogging pants underneath it when it's 0. Last year, whenever I did, like when we were in South Dakota, it was pretty darn cold. The year before, and literally all I wore was a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, and jogging pants underneath it, and it was 0.
Wow.
And it was warm.
I'm gonna need that link.
Yes, the people own it. Brian's from Michigan. They live in Colorado now. Him and Rebecca. They actually, one of the guys that goes with us, he's a fireman, Todd. He can make friends with anybody, and they had like a flash sale where they sold a whole bunch of them for just kind of like 75% off this past winter around Christmas before we left. And they called him and says, "Did you want 2 XLs or did you want 1 2XL?" And he goes, "No, I just need an XL." And so he starts talking to Brian, and one thing leads to another. And 3 guys backed out on our trip that was going to go with us. There's 5 of us. And we're sitting there. He was sitting there talking to him. One thing led to another. By the time this conversation got done, he invited Brian. And the next thing you know, he's like, "You care if my wife comes?" Like, "Nope, bring her." And so they came out to South Dakota and met us there, and had all their clothes and stuff. And it was a blast.
Nice.
They're really great people with a really good product. It's for being gel infused fabric. It's hard for people to believe that that's all you wear when it's that cold.
We gotta look that up.
Yeah.
You did need a laptop tonight.
So. Yeah, I guess I did. I left it in the bag.
Yeah. It's called Shiver Shield.
Catchy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. They're talking about coming out with some new designs and new camo, but they just got like a winter one. But honestly, I can show you pictures of us standing out along woods and stuff, and it blends in better with the woods than being out in the middle of a field.
Right.
So
we
if you're standing along a
too much
tree line,
about the camo at night, As long
I
as
don't
it's
either.
dark.
Yeah.
I wear jogging pants, or I wear insulated blue jeans and whatever sweatshirt I got on that night.
Me too.
Yep.
It don't matter.
I wear, if it's cold, I'll put on thermal underwear and then just pair of hunting pants and my hoodie. That's what I wear all winter.
If it's real cold, I'll stay home and sit by the fridge.
Yeah, when it was that cold, all I had was the bibs, and I just had had the bibs on and a hooded sweatshirt, and that's all I wore when it was the really frigid cold temperatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it probably gets pretty chilly up there.
It does. This past winter was kind of a mild winter. Gosh, what was it? 2 winters ago, I think, or 3 winters ago. I don't think we got out of single digits for 3 weeks or so.
That was like the night we went up to Brian's. God damn,
Yep.
that was cold. That was cold.
Yep.
And I brought everything with me. But the wind up there was
It was windy.
Windy.
Yeah, see, we've gotten windy. I don't know what it's been for the last couple of years. It is windy all the time here.
Yeah. We just Josh says that every time he walks in my door. Hey, it's not windy tonight.
Heck yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure having you. I'm sorry you've sent me a bunch of messages and I just been so busy that, and then
Oh, yeah.
it just happens. I can't. If I carry my phone with me all day, I won't get nothing done.
Oh, I agree. Know the feeling.
So
Definitely know the feeling.
it was a pleasure having you on. We're very grateful to have you as a listener.
Yeah,
You've been around
absolutely.
quite a while with us.
You guys do a good job. That's for dang sure. I love listening to you guys.
Well, thank you.
Well, we try really hard. It's usually a shit show. And
Before we get
alcohol-induced.
started, it's like, well, what are we going to talk about today?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I hit the
And he's like, I'll just hit record and see what happens. Fuck it.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
But we'll
Sometimes
have
that's the best conversations.
right.
yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm curious to know if you decide to do something with a hand call. Let me know.
Oh, I definitely will. I definitely will. Because I've been worried. I always worry that something's going to happen to the caller or the remote that night or something. And
that's why we carry them.
I've
That's
had
number
it,
one.
had it happen. Get out in the field, put the collar out, turn the remote on, and there's nothing there.
Right, and we have
Exactly.
stuff, but it's in the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we recommend it only because of the versatility of it. Use your e-collar, but mix it up
Yeah.
a little bit, especially if you got pressured areas.
Yep.
And
Especially if you can make it sound like there's 2 dogs, especially put your collar 30, 40 yards away and then you on the other end of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you take your guy and just spread out and because last year we did a lot of the last 2 years, a lot of vocals, not a lot of prey distress. You turn a rabbit on, they're gone because they've heard that song a million times.
Yep.
But if you can get under their skin or,
Mm-hmm.
seems to work.
That's what I've always liked about Taylor. He always thinks outside the box. He goes, okay, we're going to do this now tonight. And like, okay, let's do it.
That's how you got to do it, though.
Yeah, just try
Yeah,
something
you do,
different.
especially this day and age.
Yeah. And like I said, Brian's howler, his rabbit call, fucking phenomenal.
And they're
There's-
handcrafted.
Yep, seen him do it.
Right.
Sweet.
And he does turkey calls and deer calls, too.
Yeah.
All grunts and
I
all that.
think goose. See
Yeah,
him?
bird.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goose.
Oh, wow.
Waterfowl. Yeah, he
Yeah,
does
turkey.
goose and duck, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I know goose for sure. There's a team up by him that runs all his calls.
Yeah. But yeah, let him know that we sent you over,
Yeah.
and
Oh, I definitely will.
if that's the route you want to go. But
Right.
definitely highly recommend.
yeah.
And he's got options for wood too. Like it's
Yeah.
not just this is what you get. Like you can pick the band color, the wood. Yeah.
Like we
Okay.
say it all the time. And like we've been in the shop. He goes out, cuts the wood down,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's piled up in there.
Yeah.
Like, and he does from start to finish. If there's nothing that is not handcrafted on it. He's doing some things with 3D printers too, I heard. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Do you do?
Like I said, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah. Do you do YouTube or post of anything or anything like that?
I don't post anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Nope.
Well,
that's
we
fine.
just giving
I
everybody
said
an
it's a-
option. to
give
get
you
it
the
out
option
there.
to put your
Yep. I send
your,
it
stuff
to
out
my
there.
buddies, and that's about it.
Oh, perfect. No, that's fine. All right.
Yep.
Do your bit.
Heck yeah.
Do the bit. The One Predator page on Facebook, One Predator Hunts on YouTube. You find the podcast, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, all your favorite podcasting apps. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next one.